YouTube? Mr. Kid Space coming at you with another Clash Royale YouTube video. Today, actually yesterday, I made it up to Challenger 1, which is anything 4,000 trophies or above. What's the matter, baby? A cookie? No. No, you're not gonna get a cookie, no. You just had breakfast. She's about to flip out on me. Anyway, anything 4,000 plus is Challenger 1. Now, how this works, I don't know if you know it, but it's kind of a new thing. It's where if you get 4,000 or above, right, you're in Challenger 1. If you happen to pass the threshold of 4,300 trophies at the end of the month, at the end of the cycle, then you'll be in Challenger 2. Now, if you're not past that threshold, if you're at 4,299 trophies at the end of that cycle, they're going to bottom you back down to 4,000. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm picking up and doing a lot of 2v2. What this means is I've created a lot of different decks that are like support decks. A lot of these decks are good independently, but they work really well in 2v2. Let's get it going. Now, the first deck that I made has both of the witches in it. I made this deck with the witches in mind, and I made them the primary power in this deck. Everything else is centered around the witches. I put the clone spell in it because if you have two witches, and you clone them as they're pushing out bats and skeletons, that's a lot for the tower to deal with. Now, it can be easily remedied by the other team with a fireball or some arrows. So, just like anything else, you have to know what you're doing. You have to strategize. When you build a deck like this, you have to take everything into consideration. What I didn't take into consideration with this deck is the fact that there's not a lot of area support. The witches, I mean, the regular witch, you know, she shoots her little ball of energy or whatever, and that can she can shoot in the air with that. And the night witch or the dark witch, I don't remember what she's called. She's got the bats, and those attack the air. But I'm pretty sure that's the only two attacks in the air, except for my zap. I almost always have my zap with me because that's one card that I have closest to leveling all the way up, and it's a really good card. Now, as you'll see in this, you know what, we'll start at 2. As you see in this round, what happens is, he starts off, the other two people, they start off, and they totally take our left side tower down. No problem at all. That balloon was nasty. You got a lot of skeletons in there, but they all get destroyed by the ice golem. So now we're left wondering what we should do next. They throw the Hog Rider out there, I throw the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And then we're going to head towards the right side. Now what happens next is what's crucial. I cloned it. And I don't know if you saw, but he threw a fireball over there. It's almost as if to say that maybe his teammate left the match, or they're just giving up altogether. But watch how quickly this goes down. The clone is very, very crucial in this deck. Not only does it support both of the witches, but if you are able to clone a balloon when it's en route to a tower, it's going to do some damage. But you got to remember to clone the balloon once it starts getting shot. I mean, you want to try to do it once it gets to the tower, but if it's going down, you got to try to hurry up and clone it real quick. Then you got to do it as soon as it starts to get shot. Just so that you have 2 bombs that drop, and any supporting troops that they have on their side are going down. So that's that deck. It's called the Witch deck. I really didn't name them. I don't know why I said that. It's not called anything. It's called my number 2 deck. And actually, it's a deck that I didn't even create for 2v2. But it works out great for 2v2. Because, I mean, witches be tripping. The next deck right here is the Hog deck. I'm sure when the Royal Hogs came out, everybody had the same idea. Let's put the Hog Rider in with the Hogs. The Royal Hogs. It works out great. The only problem with it is, with this deck is the Royal Hogs. They're not that good. And I thought that when they came out, but then I thought I'd level them up some more. They're still not that good. But they're not terrible. I feel like if I level them up all the way, they'll be pretty good. The giant snowball is almost like a joke. It hits a tower and takes away about 30, maybe 40 hit points off of a tower. And, it slows it down a little bit for a couple of seconds. But really, I feel like the giant snowball is more of an insult card. Like, if you're winning and you're doing so good, you can throw a giant snowball just in the middle of their field as kind of like a troll card, But this card works out great. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the wizard leveled up, and I've said it before, level up your wizard. The wizard is key. It's an awesome card, and it works out great. I already pushed play, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, see how they start out? They start out strong with the Elite Barbarians and the Goblin Gang. And, it's a pretty good push. But it seems like every time they put out a card, me and this Adri person have the answer to it. I'll speed it up a little bit here for you. It's like every time they put out a card, they get our tower a little bit here and there, but not very much. Now watch these. Look at that. Look at that Royal Hogs just get taken down. One Valkyrie would have did it easy, but two Valkyries totally just... There was nothing. It was nothing. They've got a lot of good cards. They got a lot of heavy cards. They seem to have a good balance. But I'm telling you right now, that wizard is key. And that little Hog Rider... I'm sorry, I'm going to stop it. That little Hog Rider tactic is beautiful. You put the Hog Rider on your side so that it jumps over the river. Anything that's crossing the bridge will start to head towards the Hog Rider while it's jumping the river. It gets on the other side of the river, and their cards immediately want to start going back to get the Hog Rider. So they take a lot of time, and they take some damage from the tower and whatever other supporting cards you might have out there. Like, I don't know, the Wizard! Level up your Wizard. Your Wizard game needs to be on point. That card is a beast and could be the best card in the game. Yeah, I said it. So let's see here. Again, there's the answer, Musketeers. I tried the, hold on. I tried the Royal Hogs again. They immediately throw out double Valkyrie. Now watch how quickly, I'm going to play it in regular speed. Watch how quickly these Royal Hogs get taken out. I mean, I couldn't even finish my sentence. There's like 2 seconds worth of Royal Hogs. I don't even think any of them touch the towers. But this balloon does, and the bomb from it is going to take it out. And we got a baby dragon. We got the wizard. The wizard and the baby dragon together are going to take out those Valkyries and every other card coming across the bridge now. I guess the Valkyrie helps a little bit. So the Hog Rider obviously is a good card. Freeze that tower. I mean, this is a pretty good deck. Just all around. The Royal Hogs are the biggest weakness in this deck. But I feel like I said, once I level them up, they won't be that bad. Kind of like the Royal Giant. It's a pretty good card too. Just has to be leveled up. I feel like once we took their tower like halfway down, they kind of gave up there. But that's what usually happens in this game. People are like, you know what? I can't get a card in. I can't get a card to their tower. I'm just gonna give it up. So that's that deck. The next deck. Number 3, what did I say, top 5? Well, I meant top 3. Because this 5th one I've been working on, and I'll get to that in a minute, but this card centers around the giant skeleton. Now, my giant skeleton's kind of a punk. He's a little bit weak. He's only a level 4. I wish I would have leveled him up. Crazy gamer took all my giant skeletons from the clan. Every time there was an Epic Sunday, he requested them, and I gave them to him. And he's got, I believe, now a level 6 giant skeleton, and that thing is a beast. I've gone against level 7 giant skeletons, and it's just no contest. I mean, if they get that giant skeleton to your tower, it's taking away like 1,300 hit points off of your tower. So whatever supporting troops might have hit your tower with the giant skeleton while you're trying to take the giant skeleton down, and then they clone it, it's over. So the giant skeleton is a really good card to center a deck around. And if you're gonna have the giant skeleton, I would say the mirror is a pretty good thing to have also. If you're not gonna have the mirror, actually I'm just gonna go ahead and say that altogether you should have the clone with it. The giant skeleton should always come with the clone spell. The mirror card is good, but you always should have that clone spell with the giant skeleton. It's just like the balloon. If you got it leveled up to a decent level and you clone it at the tower, it's going to do major damage. Now this was a really good match. Both of the teams both of us, both my team and the other team have giant skeletons at level 4. You can see the first cards played are the Dark Goblins and the Lumberjack, but it's pretty unnecessary to watch most of this match. The real stuff happens with like 20 seconds left to go in overtime. Now check this out though, this is pretty funny. I see this bandit coming on the right side, right? These giant skeletons are duking it out over here. I see this bandit coming on the right side, so I throw out my fire spirits. What's crazy is as soon as they touch the ground, they are zapped. I mean, he must have been holding that zap. Let's take a look. It looks like he was holding that zap and ready to go. I don't suppose you can actually see it get drawn up here. You know, like when you're in the match, you can see what your opponent or your teammate's about to throw. But yeah, watch this. Check it out real quick. I'll shut up for a second. Watch over here on the right. Boom! As soon as they touched the ground, I mean, that was half speed. And that bandit was like, yeah, I'm still hitting your tower. So it goes on for a little bit here. They say oops, so I use that later to troll back at them when we start to take the lead. But like I said, the real meat and potatoes of this match doesn't go until about 20 seconds left in overtime. I can't talk today, I'm just all slow. So we go back and forth, you know. He's getting my right tower, we're getting his left tower. There's my giant skeleton right there. And what really sucks about me using the giant skeleton here is they knew how to counter it. They put out the Royal Ghost and they put the Elite Barbarians out in front so that when the bomb exploded right there, they didn't even get touched. But like I said, we knocked down their tower, they knocked down our right side. And I say good game, I give them a good game. I might have said oops in there, I might have missed it during the replay here, but they did give out a nuke. I thought we were going to get him with the two mini packers over there, but we didn't. So it goes back and forth again for a little bit. Some close calls, some very close calls. Now we're in a sudden death, and we got about 45 seconds left to go. Slowing it down, but just a little bit. We're just throwing cards. That's right there is the giant skeleton that wins the game for us. The giant skeleton, and I should say the executioner, because the executioner gets the kill shot. Now he throws out his giant skeleton and a bunch of stuff. I clone it right there, and then he makes it to the tower, and I managed to throw out one more clone. Now you can, I don't know if you can see, you can't. Oh, the tower's at 2,700, 2,004, 1,300, and then the other bomb explodes, and now it only takes 2 more shots for the executioner. They try to throw a witch down. It's too late. Their tower goes down. Right after all our names pop up with the crowns, you can't see it on the replay, but I throw out another oops just to kind of troll them a little bit. But that's my example of what the giant skeleton is capable of. I think both me and my teammate were pretty sure we were going to lose that match at one point or another. I mean, look at my left side tower. It's got 140 hit points on it, and one of the opponents have the fireball. All it would have taken is one fireball, and we would have lost that match. But with the giant skeleton, with barely any health left, made it to the king tower and took down, I think it was like 2,700 hit points, down to 300, maybe 400, and the executioner finished him off. So that was a pretty cool win, I thought, and thought I'd let you guys see that. That's I think my third deck. I started this video yesterday, so I'm not sure which one I'm on. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. What you would use in this deck besides the giant snowball. I'm thinking maybe the log. Hit me up with what decks you might use in 2v2, because some people use different decks for 2v2 rather than 1v1. So I mean, if you have a supporting deck that you know about, hit me up in the comments below. I'll make a video about it, and I'll see you guys next time. This particular deck is one of my favorites. It's like the ultimate support deck. It has nothing but spells. These guys start off the match, and right off the bat they start taunting me. They got a cry face, a laugh face emoji, and they're just asking for it. This deck is terrible. Never ever use this deck. And all the times I've ever tried to do this, it never works.